What's up, guys? We're back again on CS2 and we are analyzing cases. So, why are we analyzing cases again when we did this just about a week ago? Well, CS2 has had a pretty major update. We basically changed up some of our methodology and we got some concrete numbers that makes our estimates a lot more accurate. So we got concrete numbers, and the way we did that is we used the spring forward collection. And you might know that it introduced a couple, well, three collections, each with classified skins. There's the OP Green Energy, AK Novo Rouge, and then the M4A1S Stratosphere. And what we did is I looked at the number of battle scarred weapons of each of these that exist, and the chance for you to get a battle scarred drop, and I used that to calculate the number of drops that theoretically needed to have been, dropped for that many of that skin to exist. And I know that a few of these are trade-ups, but since very not many people trade up for battle scarred skins, the effective trade-ups should be very minimal. And also, you have to consider that there are private inventories that do not show up in these databases. So it sort of balances out, and it gave us a number of 0.65 drops per MAU. So that means we can expect 0.65 cases per monthly active user. And there are about 30 million monthly active users. So ever since the June 2023 update, the number of cases has been really low. So that means there's about 600,000 cases dropped every day ever since the June 2023 update that forced you to level up to get a case. And then before that, we also updated the numbers for before that. Basically, before that, we had a drop rate of 2.6 cases per monthly active user. And we could not lower this number without making some cases go into the negatives. However, what I just did is that I just accepted that some cases we just have incomplete data, we have low quality data, we don't exactly know the drop rates, we don't know the exact time frame, and I just removed them from our from consideration. So now a lot of them do show that they have zero supply, which is obviously not true, but I just accept that we don't have enough data for it, so I just excluded that, and that way I was able to lower the drop rate for the pre-June 2023 update to 2.3. So this lowered the case supply for a lot of the cases, and it really makes you it and it forces you to reevaluate whether some cases that you might have dismissed beforehand as an investment might deserve a second look. So right now we're sorting by lowest time to extinction, and as you can see, we actually have a new lowest time to extinction case, which is the winter offensive case. So this case, it's consistently every month. It's about minus 11,000 every single month, and then lately it's actually been increasing in the extinction rate. Now it's about minus 16,000 every month. Meanwhile, the total supply is estimated to be about 370,000. So we project that this case will go extinct in only 21 months, which is less than 2 years. And this case has some really nice skins. It has the M4 Asimov, it has the original skins, it has the Red Line, it has the Guardian, and then it also has the Iron Rose. So I believe that this case, it's already pretty expensive. I think it's about like $6.50 on third-party sites, but I think it can easily go to $10 within the next 6 to 12 months. So I think it can 2x. So it is, but as it 2x's, the number of unboxings, which is already pretty low, it's about 20 to 30,000, usually around like 23,000 a month. We expect this number to go down steeply if the case doubles, and then when this number goes and starts to match the monthly drop rate, which is about 7,000, then the extinction rate will go up. I mean, the extinction date will go up a lot. So and then it will move down the list. So I think it's a decent investment, but I wouldn't exactly be breaking the bank because it's already pretty expensive, and the unboxing rate is pretty low. So you can easily see this time to extinction explode into like 100 months if the unboxing rate just halves. And then we have the chroma case. The supply estimation actually went up a little bit, but this remains a really good investment in my opinion. I think it's very similar to the winter offensive case, but the unboxing rates for the chromas are much higher. So the even when the price starts to increase, you won't see that the time to extinction go up that much, as fast. And then for the falchion case, the supply estimation actually went down. So everything I said from before applies, and I just think this is an even better investment than I thought. Then you have the Phoenix case, very similar to the Chroma. And then very surprisingly, we have the Revolution case. This is of course a actively dropping case, so I would not recommend investing in this, but it is really surprising how low the supply of this actually is. So the Revolution case, I believe for most of its lifetime, or maybe even all of it, it's been since the June 2023 update. So it's been after the drop rates have been really low, and that's why the supply is actually pretty low, and most of it has been unboxed. And this means that if the Revolution case does get removed from the active duty pool, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon because I think there's at least three cases older than it. But if it is, and the supply is still pretty low, when it does happen, maybe the supply is going to be 50, 60 million then it would be a really great investment. So I will be keeping my eye on this, but I don't expect to be buying into this anytime soon. Then we have the breakout case, only 13.5 million supply. This is the only case that has the butterfly knives with the original finishes. I think this might be a good investment. It's already pretty expensive, but sole provider of butterfly fades, you know, um, I think it's a better investment than the glove case, which is, at a similar price point. So if you're gonna invest in either the breakout or the glove case, I would say the breakout is the better option. We have the Horizon case. After it crosses 100 months to extinction, I really start to lose interest. Maybe you can look into the numbers for these cases yourself. You can go into the site, look at the exact numbers, see the unboxing rate. But I will be avoiding these for now. But if we sort by the highest supply, you'll see something interesting. So over here, we have, of course, the clutch case with the highest supply, almost 230 million. A ton have been unboxed, but even more are left. I would avoid the clutch case. You'll see a lot of YouTubers just recommending the clutch case. I think they do not understand just how much of the supply is still remaining, just how high this number is. I think the clutch case will probably still go up because, as I mentioned in other videos, there is tremendous buying pressure from people who are, optimistic about cases in general, and they just, buy to hold. So I believe that will just make the clutch case go up over time anyways, but that applies to all cases. So the clutch case may, double in 2, 3 years, whereas other cases might quadruple. So relatively, I think the clutch case is not a great investment. And if you look at the case with the second highest supply, it's actually the fracture case, and this is worth 30 cents on third-party sites, whereas the clutch case is worth about 3 times that. So, and the fracture case actually has lower supply. So if the fracture case is to be removed from the active duty pool, it would actually be way better than the clutch case. In terms of fundamentals, the fracture case has a higher unboxing rate. It has lower supply. It has more interest. It has the better golds, in my opinion. So I think if you believe, like I do, that the fracture case is going to be removed from the active duty pool this year or early next year, this actually might be a good investment. So I would recommend, if you have the opportunity of picking up some of these. Danger zone case, I think it's a terrible investment, very similar to the clutch case. The snake bite is actually pretty interesting. It's worth something like 60 cents, so a lot less than the clutch case with much better fundamentals. So if you were going to buy the clutch case, if you're dead set on buying some cheap cases that had some gloves, I would recommend the snake bite all day over the clutch. The Prisma 2s, you know, I just think there's better options. Chroma 3s, Prisma case. I would rather buy the Prisma case than the Prisma 2. As you can see, just better fundamentals. I do believe the Prisma 2 has a higher unboxing rate. I think it's 470,000 was unboxed last month, whereas Prismas, for the Prismas, it was 406,000. So in terms of unboxing rate, The Prisma 2 is about 20% more, or not even 20%, it's more like 16% more, but there's how much? There's 30 million more. So, and I think the Prisma case is slightly cheaper anyways, so I'll just go with the Prismas if you really want to invest in the Prisma or Prisma 2. The Dreams and Nightmare case is actually pretty interesting. The supply is really low, and it's actually the third most unboxed case, in CS history. If the Dreams and Nightmare case is ever discontinued, it might be a really good investment, but it's already priced really high, so like you really have to do like some more research at the time of the discontinuation or the time of when it's moved into the rare pool. The Recoil case is actually also like has pretty good fundamentals, at least compared to like some of these, but this is not the I think this is the third oldest case, so it might not be removed anytime soon. However, it does have really low unboxing numbers. It has the lowest unboxing numbers of all the active duty cases. So some people are speculating that the recoil case will be removed before the fracture case, just because Valve wants the active duty pool to have popular cases that people are unboxing and making them more money. So there is a small chance this is removed like pretty soon, but I wouldn't really bet on it. So I would hold off on investing in the recoils. I think the fracture has a much higher chance of being removed. But of course, if it is removed, then it actually has great fundamentals, as you can see. Only 90 million supply compared to like, look at these. These are all like insane numbers. So anyways, I just wanted to update you guys on the numbers. Check out the site yourself to do your own research. Yeah, that's about it.